Okay, everybody, we're in HI Boston.
HI Boston.
Holla.
We used to work at a hostel in New York, and we're gonna give you our tips, what you should actually know when you're booking a hostel.
First of all, if you've never stayed in a hostel, have no fear. It is not scary.
It's not scary.
It's gonna make your whole trip even better. Promise you.
Well, as long as you actually talk to other people.
So it's all about engagement. So there are like free tours. There are free pub crawls. There is free breakfast, which we took advantage of. Even if it's a crappy hostel experience, it will give you a story to tell. And is that not what travel's about?
It is. Anywho, we're gonna tell you how to book a hostel. Okay, so number one, you need to check your usual hostel website. So you have hostels.com, you have hostelbookers.com, you have hostelworld.com.
A lot of these actually provide a rank of a percentage.
Yeah.
So Damon and I usually don't stay in anything below a 75% because you'll look at the reviews about sanitation, about location, about staff friendliness, about activities that the hostel provides.
Staff friendliness is a huge one for me.
Right, because if you are like sweating from carrying a bag all over the place to get to the hostel, the last thing you want is to be greeted by rude people.
No.
So when you saw us at the front desk, you know you was happy. Hey.
Location first, price second. So I know this is going against almost everything we stand for, but this is the thing. Even if the cheapest hostel is far away from the city center, you're gonna be spending your time and your money getting back and forth, back and forth. You're gonna be wasting basically the trip that you spent all this money to go on.
Before you even book a hostel, we always do this. We check the distance between the hostel and the city center.
Yep.
If you're going to Rome and you have no idea where the main attractions are, you Google main attractions in Rome, find a street name, put it in Google Maps, find the street address of your hostel, see the distance with public transportation or walking. That should be deciding.
Sometimes when you're booking your hostel online, you'll notice that right when you get to the end, it says service fee. Now, this is what you should do. Look up everything online, and then at the last minute, if there is a service fee, you call the hostel and say, I'd like to book it, because if you're booking it in person or on the phone, there are no service fees.
And you get to speak to somebody, practice your languages if you don't speak their language, you know, we're just all about that, like making it a little bit more difficult to save money. We're all about that.
When you're booking a hostel, you know that little notes section where you can write something? Please write if you want a top or bottom bunk. Please write if you have friends arriving. That way we, as front desk employees, can plan your stay effectively.
Another thing is you're not staying at the Ritz-Carlton, so don't expect it to be like this. If you want a top or bottom bunk, boo-boo.
Like,
you ain't gonna get it all you want. No, you gotta realize there are pros and cons to both top and bottom bunk. Personally, we're both top bunkers. We like to stay ahead of the game.
Even though I didn't even think people specifically asked for a top or bottom bunk until we worked at a hostel.
Because everybody asked for a bottom bunk, and I'm gonna tell you, shut up. Okay, shut up.
If you are traveling with friends, look at the price for a private room, because sometimes if you're paying like $40 each and there's 4 of you or 5 of you, it may end up being cheaper to have a private room in the long run. And
better because you can actually have fun with your friends and not feel like you're, you know, stuck with a bunch of people and you want to have a conversation.
Ah,
this is an important one.
This was good.
Okay, so weekend versus weekday rates. There is a big difference, and if you book hostels, you're going to see that there's a price spike on the weekends because obviously, everyone's trying to shake their ass in Barcelona over the weekend.
Yeah, they are. So, but it's not only weekend and weekday, it's like the high season and low season. So the months between probably October and April, so it's the low season, therefore the prices are going to be cheaper. Yes, weekend and weekday are going to be different, but it's still overall going to be cheaper than summer rates.
So keep in mind, holidays are more expensive. And some cities are actually cheaper, so you have to compare. If, let's say you're going through Europe and you want to hit like 5 cities, okay? Odds are, if you're trying to book a hostel in Paris on the weekend, it's going to be more expensive than staying in the south of France on the weekend, or staying in a small town in Italy in the weekend. So plan and choose.
That's a good one. We didn't even plan that one.
Yeah, it's true, right? So
that's
it's
very
like
true.
Plan and choose where your weekends are gonna fall, because that's gonna make a big difference when you're paying that kind of money. So the last tip, and probably the most important tip that will change your stay at the check-in desk, have a little human communication. Speak to the person who's checking you and be like, so what do you do when you're not here working?
Where do you go for your lunch break? Where do you go out? Where do your friends hang out? What coffee shops do you go to? Because you work here, you live here, you wake up here, you sleep here. So those are the people you really need to ask. I mean, you could stay and make friends with all the hostelers, but they're getting the same experience you are.
Sometimes if the hostel people don't know, we stop somebody on the street. Are you from Boston? What is there to do? And we actually did that yesterday, and they fill you in on things you can't find on TripAdvisor, you can't find on blogs, and it's just a better way to kind of set the tone for your travel experience.
So those are just a few of our hostel tips, I guess. Like if you have another one, leave it in the comments below. Your tips can be our tips, and our tips can be your tips, and they can be tips together.
And if you have any other questions about how it was working in a hostel, please ask below in the comments. Click that subscribe button because you know your boy and your girl are gonna be bringing the videos every Monday and Thursday. Goodbye. Cut. So I'm gonna show you how to get ready in 10 minutes. When you look like this, you're looking bad. All right. So everybody calm down. I know everyone's freaking